big news coming from Bethesda today that has had me smiling. We get new cards. And we get a new game mode. Hooray! That's really, really exciting. There's been a lot of discontent in the community lately about things feeling stale and boring, and what better way to shake things up than to give us some new content. So, before we go on and we talk about all of the cards, or at least the ones that were revealed or that we can make sense of at the moment, and the game modes, first, I gotta direct something to Bethesda. Bethesda, are you watching me? You listening to me right now? Please stop. Please stop releasing your updates on Thursdays. I want to talk about them. I want to make videos, and unfortunately, I work two jobs. I do the day job thing, and then I also teach college classes at night. So I'm literally I rushed home so that I could start filming this. Like, I walked in the door, I haven't changed clothes, just so that I could get this video out. So you did it this time. You did it last time with the patch notes. Come on, man, throw me a bone. Don't do it on Thursdays. All right. So first, I guess let's talk about the game mode. It's going to be Sheograth entering the arena. There will be an arena mode that is especially wacky. There will be scenarios in the Chaos Arena, and there will be special conditions and field lanes. It might be things like both players start with a 2-1 Bone Gladiator, I think is one of the things they said. Or there might be unique creatures that get shuffled into each player's deck. Just all sorts of wacky stuff. I'm going to put a link to the article in the description of the video, so make sure you check it out, because there is a large number of just even specialty lanes that they released. I was actually kind of surprised by the amount of content. Other fun things that they're doing are going to include the game board will have special art. Your avatars might be slightly changed because of Sheograth's hijinks. Overall, I actually think that it's kind of a cool addition. So yeah, make sure you check out the link, and look forward to the new game mode. So that's it for the game mode, because I mean, I could cover it more. We could go one by one, but let's be honest, it's going to be wacky, and you should just go play and embrace the chaos. But what we really want to talk about, or at least what I'm most excited about, is, I'm pulling this up so that I can reference it, the new cards, right? So there was 3 cards that they demoed, or that they released in the article. The first is Ring of Imaginary Might. This one is an equipment card, and it gives a creature +0/+2. And then it also, when you summon it, sets that creature's attack power to be whatever its health value was. So it immediately calls for some combos, right? Like Old Gate Warden, Portcullis, these things that used to be kind of overlooked can now be massive and hit like a truck. I was immediately thinking of the Knight from Agility, who is the 1/5 charge. He now becomes a 2-card combo for a 7/7 charge for less cost than Tazcat. I mean, that feels pretty good. The one caveat, though, is all of the cards that are typically very high health are typically not good on their own, and so relying on this card might be a little much. Places where I think the card actually could shine actually might be in a mid-range warrior build. So if you're already running high health creatures because of warrior, and you're already running stuff with charge, running this on top of, say, Enchanted Plate doesn't seem like too much of a stretch. Plate cycles, it's not bad. If you play this and Plate, then you're giving something essentially +5/+5 for net only 1 card used, just because of the Plate cycles. So I could see some use there. The other card that was released officially with the article, again, I'll link to this article because there's actually 2 articles. I'll link to this one in the description as well. Gardener of Swords. This one is interesting because when you equip another creature with an item, you get a copy of that equipment on Gardener. And the way the article explains it, it is a full-on copy with all of the triggers. So Mace of Encumbrance means you shackle two things. Tome of Alteration means you draw two cards. Um, this this is a big boon for item-based decks because you can now, if you have Gardener in play and you have something else and you play your item, but that guy still gets removed, well, you're not out like 2-for-1 in value because the Gardener still got a copy too, right? It helps combat that. So I'm curious to see how he's going to be utilized and in what ways. I'm sure that there are people itching to test him out. And then the last one revealed is, again, probably going to help orcs. I say probably because there's actually a chance that it might just help strength-based decks in general. Stone Shard Orc, it is a small-ish body, but it has a summon when it comes into play, deal 1 damage to an enemy creature for each friendly orc. So at a minimum, right, like he's a pinger himself who can start to ping pretty hard. I think that in Arena he's certainly going to see a lot of value just because of his comes into play ability. But I think where he shines is potentially in not even like hard orc based constructed decks, but there's enough quality orcs floating around and say, again, like if you think warrior, right? Dragontail Savior sees play. The 2/3 charge orc sees play. There are some orcs that are just kind of already being included. The orc clan captain, that means that he doesn't necessarily always have to be just a pinger. You know, he could hit for 2, he could hit for 3 semi-reasonably. So he might sneak into some decks as well. He'll for sure be played in orcs. Whether or not that's enough to push them to be like completely viable, I don't know. But he's another guy who was he was revealed. So those are the ones that were, I say, officially revealed because they were called out in the article. But I'm going to put it on the screen here real quick. They also included this image. So as part of this event, you can purchase this pack and you will get a full playset of each of these cards. And this image is interesting because even though they didn't show the other cards, most of these you can actually make out what they do already. So we're going to take a look. Forsaken Champion. He is a neutral, 5 cost, 3/3. But when he enters play, you choose a friendly creature, and then friendly creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. So he's like tribal in a bottle. You want to run elves? That's awesome. Throw this guy in, gives your team a buff. He's obviously better in existing tribal decks, so goblins and orcs probably benefit the most because they already have the most natural synergy. But you know, if you were really itching to make an Argonian deck, I guess this could potentially help. Other cards in the image. Close Call. You can't make out the entire thing, but it appears to be a 0-cost action that says, in all likelihood, unsummon a friendly creature, just based on the art and the title Close Call, right? That flavor fits what is likely going to be the text unsummon a friendly creature. This card is really important for a lot of reasons. It's a 0-cost card, so it means you can find it with Skulks. It means it comes in Smuggler's Hall. It's an action, so it could feed action Assassin, and it lets you essentially get the comes into play triggers for creatures multiple times. So you could Harpy, unsummon, Harpy in a pinch, right? So there's a lot of combo potential for this, in my opinion. And Forsworn has already been seeing some play in cheeky ways and it's kind of been creeping up a little bit more. I'm curious to see if this card is enough to kind of push those comes into play decks overboard and see if people try to really abuse that combo. So the legend in the picture is Altar of could be Despair, could be Destruction, we don't know. But it stands out for a couple of reasons. It's a support with 12 uses, and from what we can see, it says activate, and then it appears to say sacrifice, and then we don't see the rest, obviously, but then it's a creature to, and then it looks like it might start to say summon, and then creature from what appears to be your, And then we see that costs 1, and then it's again cut off, right? But it's now referencing the cost of a creature, and then there's summon. So again, speculation, but what I suspect this says is activate, sacrifice a creature to summon a creature from, it's probably gonna be your deck, that costs 1. Then increase this number to the by the cost of the creature summoned by 1. I think that's what it's ultimately going to say. I'm trying to work out in my head based on the text there, right? So basically, what I think this is going to say is you're going to sacrifice a creature to fetch your deck for a 1 cost, and then it's going to then change itself to say 2. And then if you sacrifice a creature again, it'll fetch you a 2-drop and then change itself to say 3, and so on and so forth. So because it's 12 uses, it runs the full gamut of 1 to 12 magicka. The idea being that it starts slow, but eventually you can start searching your deck for good mid-game threats, late-game bombs. It's going to be interesting to see how it's used in terms of being a tutor, right? Like immediately that comes to mind. There's a lot of decks where Ungolem is the only 1-drop, so he would immediately be found as the only option if this works the way we think it does. So overall, I think it might end up being too slow to run, especially with the prevalence of Shadowfen Priest running around. But it's a cool and cheeky card. I'm curious. So next we have Swindler's something. Says when you play, and then it's cut off. Card, deal 1 what appears to say damage, your opponent, and then 1 health, right? Like it's all kind of, again, cut off. We can't see the full text. It's an ongoing support, though. We know that much, and I suspect it's going to say when you play some sort of card. Now, whether that's an agility card, a support card, a creature card, an action, some kind of card, could be a goblin card, we don't know, right? But when you play some sort of card, I think it's going to deal 1 damage to your opponent and you gain 1 health. That would be my guess. At a 3 cost, depending on the kind of card that triggers it, that could end up being really good. Then we have our Illusory something, right? This is the 6 cost card in the image. This says summon, and then it's Illusory whatever. It looks like it appears to say gains all keywords of the top 3 cards of your deck. Again, parts of it are cut off, but that's what I would speculate. We know it's a 5 something. If it's a 5/5 at 6 cost, but it can gain a bunch of keywords, that could be really strong. It's a neutral card as well, so there might be potential there. Next to that is what appears to be either Merchant's Camel or Merchant's Caravan, which is a creature, and though most of it's cut off, we're pretty confident, at least I'm pretty confident, that this one says look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 in your hand, and discard the others. It's a great card for control, lets you tutor for things, find things. I could even see this being, because it costs 4, if you have an aggressive enough lead and you're also playing Endurance, I could see this being a cheeky combo with like Necrom Mastermind, where if you look at the top 3 cards and you purposefully, let's say, don't choose your Blood Magic Lord, then you could potentially get him back with Mastermind, right? We don't have targeted reanimation effects in this like you do in, say, like Magic the Gathering, but you might be able to cheat it in. So either way, the like search for a card, put it in your hand thing is probably strong enough for it to see some play and control. So we'll see what the stats are on it and go from there. The last one is what appears to be like Shivering Apothecary. It's 4. We know it has 2 attack, and it says summon a random something, but we don't know what else. So depending on the stats and what it summons a random of, it could be good or not. So I guess we will see. But overall, I think that there's enough just in these 10 cards to shake things up. I can see some cards that will certainly entice new players, or maybe not new players, I guess I should say entice new deck archetypes, entice players to try things new. I see, myself immediately, I'm probably going to try Ring of Imaginary Might out a bit. I'm probably going to try to abuse Close Call a few times, and then depending on what the rest of the text is on the Merchant's card and the Swindler card, I'm sure I'll try those out. So it's really, really exciting. I can't wait to check it out. And I'm sorry the video is late, but again, Bethesda, please stop doing this to me. Don't release your awesome new updates or announcements on Thursdays so that I can make a video in a decent amount of time. So, as always, thanks for watching. Check out the description for links to the articles, and I will see you next time.